first half stats, and it's reflective of the score. All Dallas. Leading in every significant department, and with almost twice as many total yards as the Cardinals.
You should have got that plate in the first quarter. Kathy might have seen it. You good night-night.
We're taping it for you. Here we go as we start the second half. And what's become a cool evening in Tempe, Arizona. Bonio sends the kick down to the 13-yard line, and LaShawn Johnson swings to the outside, and Brock Marion, who had an interception in the first half and ran it back in for a score, runs him out of bounds. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Miller Brewing Company, wishing you and yours a very happy holiday season. Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers, and Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Well, I think for the Cardinals right now it's a gut check. Wouldn't you say, Dan? You played on teams that have, with nothing going for a game, in a game like this, no playoffs in sight. You just got to reach down and say, hey, I'm a football player. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it everything I got, even though we're going nowhere after this one tonight.
You hope that's their attitude. And, a lot of these guys getting ready to go home for the offseason, but they still have 30 minutes of work left to do.
And the Dallas defense right there again. Leon Leck making the tackle.
Again, a statement there by Lett that this is the position for me to play on this Dallas defense. It's a defensive tackle. And we will not have another embarrassment like we had at the Meadowlands last week. Look at that penetration by Lett. Dead play.
Second down 10. Russell Maryland in street clothes there, and they hope to have him back. He's been in and out and has been bothered all year with injuries. But they'll have a week off next week, and then the way things are going right now, home for January. At least until they hopefully get here, as the pass is incomplete. The next road trip for the Arizona, or for the Dallas Cowboys, will be right back to Arizona.
I guess I misspoke. That game was in Dallas last week, not the Meadowlands.
We did the one in the Meadowlands.
I knew it was the Giants. Yeah, that was opening day. That was, as much as I've tried to forget it, 35-0.
Well, the Cowboys are the kings of Monday night this year. 35-0 on opening night, a tour de force performance against Philadelphia, 34-12 in November, and all Dallas tonight. 3rd and 10 at the 32-yard line. And that pass is incomplete, and a terrible pass, and Garrison Hurst was there, and Larry Brown was ready to chomp on him, and he caught it anyway.
A lot of questions. And I don't know who has the answers for where this Arizona franchise goes, not just in terms of personnel and coaching with whether or not Buddy Ryan will be back, but where does the franchise go? There's a lot of question swirling around this team about Bill Bidwell wanting a new stadium here in Phoenix and the possibility that they'll leave here altogether.
Eagles' kick is not a work of art, but it will look terrific on the stat sheet thanks to a 17-yard bounce down to the 23-yard line. That kick 55 yards. Early third quarter, Dallas up by 21. Nokia Sugar Bowl comes your way New Year's Eve. That is, what is that, Sunday night next week. Virginia Tech taking on Texas, and then Ohio State and Tennessee are co-number 4s, each winding up tied in the polls in the Citrus, and then the Rose Bowl, USC and Northwestern. That's New Year's Day right here on ABC next Monday. Now, no sympathy for that guy. I mean, it's about 58 degrees. That's a little bit of an overstatement. At the 13-yard line, first down, Aikman. And that pass is incomplete. Trying to jam it into early flag down. Yeah. Lorenzo Lynch was there.
Lynch going over the top, and they were right on top of it.
Pass intended for Michael Irvin.
Cardinals have
interference. Defense, number 29. First down, by the foul.
Cardinals have really had a lot of problems with secondary. Lynch and Hogue, the two safety men, have both been in and out of the lineup with pulled hamstrings, and this time Lynch, draped all over, draws the flag. Gets that right hand, and they're right on top of it. It's Terry Hogue, and again, like Lynch, had a hamstring problem in and out of the lineup for the entire season.
Aikman, and that catch is made by Kevin Williams up to the 37-yard line. And, you know, one of the problems that Dallas has had, in the estimation of many, is the loss of Alvin Harper, who opted for free agency. But at this point in the season, Kevin Williams is truly making his presence very much felt.
And I think causing some problems for the defensive coordinators are going to face the Cowboys in the playoffs. All of a sudden, they have to look at Kevin Williams in an entirely different light.
And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of it tonight, too. Think about it, guys. When you look at the Cowboys, you're not just looking at Michael Irvin. You're going to have to respect Williams.
At the 38-yard line, Emmitt Smith. And then when you look at those two guys, you still have Emmitt Smith not only as a ball carrier but receiver, and the tight end Novacek.
And with a question mark surrounding Jay Novacek, Kevin Williams, this is not an option. He has to step forward. He has to become a factor in the Cowboy passing game, because without Novacek, Michael Irvin is going to move from being double-teamed into being triple-teamed. There's Watkins, who really is the blocking tight end. He's a little hefty to be running downfield, challenging free safeties. He comes in about a nifty 290.
Second down and 8. Emmitt Smith takes the toss, picks up 4, gets up to the 44. Eric Swan drops him. So Emmitt Smith has already won the rushing title. He came into the game with 1,705 yards this season and has won the title by a large number of yards over Barry Sanders.
4 out of the past 5 years he's won that title. Right up there with some pretty heady people that have carried the football over the years in the National Football League. That have put together multiple seasons of winning the rushing title.
And Barry Switzer now moves into the territory of where people are going to start second-guessing him about still having his starters.
Oh, and maybe he should leave his starters in a lot longer, because Aeneas Williams has just turned it into a ball game.
His second touchdown on an interception this season, his 6th interception. Pro Bowl bound once again, and he's a gambler, but if you're a good cornerback, you're going to be playing in that Pro Bowl in Honolulu. You are going to be a gambling cornerback, and Williams, either off of frequency, off of study, he just knew that that was the pass pattern they were going to run. He stepped right in front of it, and he was gone.
Well, certainly Aikman has now removed that problem from Barry Switzer's plate. We'll be down to a 14-point game, and the Cowboy regulars are in for a while. Beautiful work by Aeneas Williams.
Boy, that one that Aikman should not have thrown either.
No.
Williams, he was right in the picture.
Extra point by Davis. That's Williams' second touchdown run back of the season. The Cardinals this season have run back 4 interceptions for touchdowns. They have more touchdowns on interception returns than they do rushing. How weird is that? 24-10. Troy Aikman throwing that interception run back by the Pro Bowl corner Aeneas Williams to make it 24-10 Dallas with 11:30 to go in the third quarter. And Greg Davis's kick taken at the 9 by Kevin Williams. Flag, loses the football. Cardinals come up with the football. Lance Brown comes away with it. And if the penalty is on the Cowboys, the Cardinals are right back in it.
The defense has already come out for the
It's the Cardinals'
Cowboys,
ball.
so the Cardinals know they're going to get it.
Holding, number 40 on the receiving team. Penalty is declined. First down.
Side Judge Howard Slavin made the call. Bill Bates with the holding, and Arizona with the recovery.
No Christmas gifts tonight for the Cowboys.
Kevin Williams right up the middle, and he is hit hard from the left side, then hit again from the right by number 26. And boy, that's a fine pop put on there. And that's the kind of a hitting double team that really brings the ball out of there. Tony Jones, credit him with the hit that does it right there. There's Jones, 26.
And now Craig tries to capitalize, going for the 6, and it's incomplete, and Deion Sanders all over Rob Moore. No flag.
Single coverage. He had him all the way, and that was good coverage.
That was the essence of coverage.
Well, it's one of those, you come back into the huddle and you say, I can beat him, I can beat him. You've been saying it probably the entire first half. They, okay, they'll know they'll have single coverage. He might have been a touch early, but you're not going to get a flag in the end zone on that, I don't think. It was just too close. Even the left hand on the shoulder. He might have got away with a little something there.
Second down 10 from the 28-yard line. Garrison hurt. He's going to throw, and he's throwing off his back foot, and he gets it to Larry Centers at the 11-yard line.
They won't get style points, but it was effective. He could have gotten rid of that a little earlier. That could have been 6 points.
That's his second pass of the season. His first was incomplete.
You're right, Frank. If he could have thrown it earlier, but for having to make the adjustment and for falling backwards and completely, off balance falling backwards, he's still got enough on it to get it to Centers. Right now, I'd have to think that a little bit of Dallas's heart is up in their throat.
But this is where the Cardinals struggle. They struggle all year long inside the red zone.
And the 11, batted away by Deion Sanders. Rob Moore, who has not caught a ball tonight, again the intended receiver.
Boy, and I wonder if this isn't the personality of Buddy Ryan coming out, going after Deion Sanders.
Well, he's making a mistake. That was a terrific play by Sanders.
Well, and back-to-back terrific plays by Sanders. Forget it. It's not going to happen.
You're down in an area where Sanders is going to lock up very tight on any receiver he's covering.
All right,
down
now
the goal line. That was a superb play.
Watch the play action to the right and coming back again to Moore. This is something the Cardinals been working on right here.
Second and 10, a reverse roll, and Craig slides ingloriously to a halt.
That was the play right there. Before the game, Ted Plum was telling us about it. They wanted to set up Deion because if the receiver acts like he's going to block, they think Deion takes it easy. The play action that time was to try to fool Deion, and obviously he was not.
Yep. There is Ted Plum, who is among those making the play calls, though that seems to be shrouded in mystery here in Phoenix.
And that's a doggone it look on his face.
Yep.
We worked all week on that, and it didn't work.
And again, the Cardinals continue to struggle down here inside the red zone. They have had a tough time all year long getting it in.
Third down 10 at the 11-yard line. From the gun, all kinds of movement.
FS.
Dan, I understand the philosophy and the thinking behind that, but Deion's not going to get caught unawares down here. I mean, that's the kind of play you'd run around at the 50-yard line and maybe catch him napping.
But where did he tell us they were going to run it?
Yeah.
Inside the red zone. It's a +20 on the way in. They thought that Deion falls asleep a little bit when he judges the play being run the other way. Obviously, Deion had that extra cup of coffee at halftime.
Yep, and he's been involved in two of the three prior plays as well.
Which will get your adrenaline flowing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll raise your awareness level.
Third down 15. 4 wideouts. Craig throwing 10-yard line. Catch is made there by Anthony Edwards, but he can only get to the 6. So it's 4th down, and in comes Davis to try to tack on 3 and shave the lead to 11.
And it's not 6 inches for the first down or the touchdown. I don't think you can argue with the call here by Ryan to go ahead and take the 3 points.
Greg Davis, 23 yards. And he just does make it just good. 8:47 left in the third. Ryan a little happier. His team climbs to within 11. Short kick into the arms of Kevin Williams, who fumbled his last return. And he brings this one back up to the 28-yard line. So the Dallas Cowboys, who were on the verge of totally blowing out the Cardinals, now find themselves in a mini dogfight.
They also got a great effort from their defense to hold that to 3 after turning it over. Interception for a touchdown, followed by a fumble on the kickoff. That could shake a team up pretty good. They could have got that in for 6. The Cardinals, well, they're still a threat to get back into it, but it would have hurt a lot more.
8:38 left, third quarter. Moose Johnston in motion from the 29-yard line. And Aikman throws. Johnston makes the catch. And Moose takes it to the 38. And a lot of Dallas fans here. It's funny. I think El Paso, Texas is actually closer to Phoenix than to Dallas.
Well, and before the Cardinals came to Phoenix, the entire state of Arizona was part of the Cowboys radio network. So they have, Tex Schramm got that started.
Exactly.
And they spent years cultivating this Arizona population into being Cowboy fans.
And down into Mexico.
Yeah.
Big favorites there.
Second down and 1 from the 38-yard line. And it's Smith up to the 42-yard line. Clyde Simmons makes the tackle. I think about that preseason game we did in Mexico City last year. As you look at Dion, who clearly has been to Tiffany's himself over the holidays, and the way the Mexico City crowd was chanting Moose, and that's Eric Williams again, shaken up.
Oh, he grabbed his shoulder, tapped his left shoulder.
So an injury timeout with 7:39 left in the third. Williams shaken. Cowboys lead by 11. Arizona, not only the site of the Super Bowl at the end of January, but the Fiesta Bowl, Florida, Nebraska, here next week for the national championship. First down, Dallas from the 42 after the timeout. We'll check on Eric Williams as Emmett Smith goes next to nowhere. So Eric Hill makes the tackle. And there's Eric Williams. Again, none the worse. Well, you shouldn't say that because at least he's able to get up, but he's windmilling that shoulder right now. Ron Stone replaces him.
Seth Joyner of the, I believe that's Joyner of the Cardinals, is, boy, he's hurting. He is really in pain walking around out there with that right arm just hanging.
Well, he's going to try to stay in there, but if they get a man on him, he's going to be in trouble.
Second and 9, and Aikman's going to gun one to the 48-yard line into the arms of Kevin Williams, who was covered by Lance Brown, and that is very close to a first down.
Yeah, for Joyner, it looks like it's probably just a stinger because he was in on the play and now appears to not even be concerned with it.
And Eric Williams comes back to the game. Seth, one of Buddy Ryan's boys in Philadelphia.
Remember a game he had on Monday Night Football a number of years ago when he was still with the Eagles?
It's Houston.
Oh, Eric Williams back in the ball game, but Seth Joyner turned in one of the best individual games we've ever seen on Monday night.
Classic night. He wound up in the Pro Bowl that year. Aikman throws, and it's caught at the 30-yard line, and the big night continuing for Kevin Williams. Lance Brown makes the tackle. Williams just 5'9", and on the other side, you've got the 6'2" Michael Irvin.
Troy making some fine reads tonight with the coverage over on Irvin. Single coverage again on Williams. Good little move by Williams. It's subtle, but it freezes Lance Brown, and he moves to the inside, and Aikman is right there with the ball.
Michael Irvin here any moment now is going to be telling Troy Aikman, hey, remember me? I'd like to be a part of this.
Huge night for Williams. He's caught 8 for 171. And it's Smith to about the 26-yard line. Garth Jacks makes the tackle. Again, Saturday, postseason play begins in the NFL. Both games on ABC. Miami and Buffalo get it started from Rich Stadium. 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 in the morning Pacific. Then, Detroit and Philadelphia, the red-hot Lions, 7 straight, go into the vet. 4 o'clock Eastern time. Wild card Saturday right here on ABC. Second down, 8 from the 25-yard line. Aikman throws to a wide-open Emmitt Smith, who takes the ball to the 10-yard line. First down. Well, will he get it? Will he get that 25th touchdown?
Well, you think so much about Emmitt rushing the football that you really don't keep close tabs on how many times he catches the ball coming out of the backfield. That puts him over 60 for the year, and those are big-time numbers. Much less from someone with over 1,700 yards rushing. Factor in 60-plus receptions. You're getting your money's worth from Emmitt Smith.
62 receptions total, but no scoring, no touchdowns through the air. On the ground, he gets to the 9-yard line. They can barely pick up a first down without getting a touchdown, but in effect, it is second and goal.
Smith seldom is a prime receiver, but he is the checkoff man on so many. In that last particular ball they threw to him a moment ago, he just set up about 4 or 5 yards downfield, and Aikman looked over the deep people. Nobody there. He goes to Smith. Well, you throw him a 4 or 5 yard turn in or a little hook or something, he could turn into something big.
Second and goal, 8-yard line. Johnston the fullback. Smith is the tailback. Toss. Smith. He's out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Third and goal.
Emmitt Smith on the carry.
3:12 remaining, or in the third quarter. 24-13.
Gain of 3 yards.
On top, the Cowboys by 11.
Third and goal.
Blimp floating over the Tempe Butte and looking down into Sun Devil Stadium. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle.
Well, if you're really just looking to score, play action, faking the ball to Emmitt Smith is a pretty solid bet here for the Cowboys.
Irvin in motion. Third and goal. Smith stays in the block, and the pass is not caught by the Moose. Johnston can't hold on.
When it could have been caught, but I mean, that ball wasn't well thrown at all because Johnson was wide open, and he could just have kind of flipped it to him, and he made that almost impossible to catch.
How about the block by Emmitt Smith? Watch Emmitt Smith step up and pick off Alexander. He just stops him dead in his tracks and knocks him to the ground. And you're right, not a very well thrown ball. Emmitt Smith, you knew he wanted that touchdown, but he did what he had to do. Watch this shot. Boom!
He does it all. 23-yard field goal. Boniol out of the hold of Jet puts it through, and the Cowboys pick up 3 with 2:33 left now in the third quarter. The Dallas lead is 27-13.
Tis the season to be jolly.
Tied, I guess. That's what happens when you're a Pro Bowl running back.
Yeah, that goes with superstardom, doesn't it?
Yeah. Travel with the ballet.
I don't think Pro Bowl even gets you that. You've got to make that next level.
Joe Avisano and his special teams will watch their coverage as Boniol sends it skyward. Late in the third quarter, and Dallas up by 14. LaShawn Johnson ridden down at the 22-yard line. A lot of talk recently about the relationship between Barry Switzer and Troy Aikman. Here's what Barry said about it before the game.
I have to be me, and I will never be other than Barry Switzer in how I go about things. We have one relationship, and that relationship is built on one thing. That foundation of both of us are committed to winning. I can never understand why anyone perceives that because of my attitude is that I'm not committed to winning. And Troy and I have that together. That's our relationship's built on that, and our loyalty should be to the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what our relationship will always be built on.
Barry and Aikman, it's been a big story in Dallas and has made its way out to the rest of the country as well in the past week from the 22-yard line. Craig. And he is shoved out of bounds by Darren Smith at the end of the play.
One of the other things that might be bothering Troy Aikman is the fact that since that injury on Thanksgiving Day, the knee and then the back injury, and I think he's been playing hurt, and I think he's been playing hurt bad.
Well, and there is no rule of football that says that Barry Switzer and Troy Aikman have to be great buddies, or that they even have to be friendly. It's called production. Yeah, you look at a lot of quarterback-coach relationships over the year. Joe Montana and Bill Walsh weren't all that close. Chuck Noll and Terry Branch. Winning is what counts. Now, what makes it interesting is the fact that Troy Aikman wields a lot of influence with Jerry Jones and the entire organization. That's the wild card.
2nd and 4. Craig throws, pass too high, intended for Rob Moore. 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 4. Larry Brown covering. Brown getting to play a lot this season. You keep forgetting on opening night, despite that 35-0 rout, the Cowboys lost the great Kevin Smith. Smith had just signed a huge contract, a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, and so Brown getting the start until Sanders got there, and then Larry moved over, and he's been an everyday player.
Clayton Holmes, of course, out of the lineup too under suspension, so they had to make some major adjustments in their secondary.
3rd down, 4. 1:45 left in the 3rd. Only a 3-man rush, and it's caught by Larry Centers. And with some nifty running, he's tackled by Marion at the 42-yard line.
Where would this Cardinal offense be without Larry Centers?
He is the offense.
He is. Off center. No, they wouldn't even be on the screen. This guy, we're getting a chance, and it's a shame that he's playing for a football team that only has 4 wins. But enjoy the scenery, because Larry Centers is becoming one of the really special players in the NFL. Hanging out there. Larry, none of your teammates were close enough for you to pitch it to. This guy's getting it done.
8 catches, 117 receiving yards for him tonight. 1st down up at the 43-yard line. Craig, decent protection, and then the receiver falls down, and that's the rookie Frank Sanders who slipped, and Frank's been a non-factor tonight. That's too bad in a way. His exposure without a catch. The rookie from Auburn appears to have a brilliant future.
How many wide receivers have receptions tonight? One. The Cardinals, right?
Well, Larry Centers came into this ballgame chasing Roger Craig, but in reality, with an entire quarter to go, Centers is making a run at 100 receptions.
Well, if I were the rookie Frank Sanders, I might think about a new cleat.
Does he have 97, George? Is that what he has on the year? He came into this thing with 89.
97, he has 8 tonight. Only Anderson and Edwards, 2 wideouts, have caught balls tonight. 2nd down and 10. Craig looking and throwing, and nobody home. 3rd down. The Cardinals have completed 11 passes tonight, 8 of them to Larry Centers.
Is that a cactus hunting moon?
Well, I think that might be a salamander hunting moon. I don't know. I'm going to call Keith.
A Gila monster hunting.
A Gila monster moon. That's a good one.
The Chamber of Commerce tonight here in the Phoenix area.
3rd down 10. The 43. And the pass is caught by Stevie Anderson, but he is tackled immediately by Robert Bailey with a half a minute to go in the period. Well short of the 1st down, and the Cards to kick.
4th down 6.
Tony Tolbert, we talked about him earlier, playing with 2 bad knees. Probably will undergo surgery.
That ball wasn't even close to being caught.
Tony will probably undergo surgery after the season.
Williams and Sanders both drop back with Fiegels to punt it. As the period winds down, the kick is a short one and is downed by the Cardinals at the 20-yard line. That's where Dallas will take over when we start the 4th quarter. End of 3, 27-13 Dallas, and Monday Night Football returns after this word for AB. Final quarter begins at Sun Devil Stadium. Al Michaels with Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, and Lynn Swan. The Dallas Cowboys trying to wrap up home field advantage throughout the playoffs, leading 27-13, first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and he runs right into Eric Hill, the middle linebacker, no gain.
The Cardinals do have some linebackers that will put a pop on you. Hill, one of the fine middle linebackers of the league, and again, like Garth Jacks, somebody that we don't see a lot because of their record. They have not been on national television a lot, but this is a big-time hit by Eric Hill, first-round draft pick in '89 out of LSU. We've seen Garth Jacks already tonight, Terry Irving, Seth Joyner, of course, many times a Pro Bowler. They've got some players.
Second and 10 at the 20. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Moose Johnston is split wide to the right. And the pass is incomplete as Kevin Williams over the middle with Lance Brown covering. Third down.
Yeah, Lance Brown doing what all rookie corners have to do. Hang in there. You're going to have some go against you, and he has seen his share tonight. Both passes caught against him, some penalties, but he has persevered, and he's still maintaining close coverage. You can't lose your game. You can't get frustrated. You can't back off the confrontation. You got to stay with it.
Third down and 10 from the 20. Cardinals rush 4. Aikman throws, tipped incomplete. Intended for Bjornsson. Good coverage that time. Seth Joyner got a hand on it.
He's big. He's 6'2", a 235-pounder, but I mentioned earlier, I covered him in working on the Superstars, and the guy is an amazing athlete. He ran the 100-yard dash at about 10.2. Just an amazing athlete. Look at that. They use him in coverage on the outside anywhere. And, of course, the former Eagle, and Buddy Ryan loves him.
John Jett to punt, Anthony Edwards to run it back. Flag is thrown. Pretty bad kick. 26 yards out of bounds at the Cardinal 46-yard line. Aeneas Williams came charging in. But the holding call will go against the Dallas Cowboys. And Arizona will
tough to turn down the field.
This penalty.
Yeah, tough to turn down the field position they have.
Dick Hancock is the referee. 27-yard punt officially. To be declined.
Holding on the offensive team, number 86. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Bjornsson. So the Cardinals have the ball in Cowboy territory with 14:04 to play. Quarter for a total of 35 yards, and the Cowboys with Emmitt Smith looking on, watching their defense trying to dig in against the Cardinals, who trail by 14 points. First and 10 Arizona at the 47-yard line. Dave Craig has it batted at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's hard for the Cardinals
out of Arizona State.
Hard for the Cardinals to score with their defense on the bench.
Break pass incomplete.
You haven't mentioned where anybody else is from, and that's the second time you've mentioned Carver from Arizona State, Al.
Well,
you know, I know you're home here and everything else, but I think you're really showing favoritism.
You're always trying to tie things in. Here's a guy coming home, right?
Number 1 draft pick.
Yep.
Made a nice play. Good inside move here.
Knows this turf very well.
Yeah. Tried to play him on the inside. He's not quite big enough for that. They moved him to the outside. Leon came back inside. Doing a good job.
Second down and 10. From the 47-yard line. Craig throws, and the catch is made by Oscar McBride, the rookie out of Notre Dame. And that's close to a first down.
But Darren Woodson, he is really hurting. He's got a sore shoulder. He's got a bad hand. His left shoulder is just killing him, and his right hand, I said hello to him tonight. He couldn't shake hands with it.
Watching him trying to tough that thing out last week in that game against the Giants was really something. And here he is again now in the fourth quarter of the season finale against the Cardinals, trying to do the same.
That was the first down and McBride's first reception of the night. gets to the 29-yard line. It'll be second down. And Monday Night Football is being brought to you by GoldenEye. United Artists brings you the biggest James Bond movie of all time. Southwest Airlines. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge. And AT&T, your true choice.
If I'm the Cardinals, I go right back to what I just did, and that is hammer the ball at this Cowboys defensive line. They got a good surge that time. Hurst took it upfield. I wouldn't go away from it.
2nd and 3. Hurst. And he's close to the first, but he's about a yard shy. 3rd down and 1.
That was more of a delay. The previous down, the Cardinals got a great surge off the line of scrimmage. This is where this defense has really shown some problems in the past. They've worn down as the game has gone along. They're not a big physical group.
They've given up at least 140 yards rushing in 4 of their last 5 games. And most of it right in the middle.
3rd and a yard. Centers lines up on a wing and then goes in motion. And Hurst has the first down to the 22-yard line, tackled by Miles. With 11:45 left in regulation. Funny thing about the Cowboys tonight, they began the game so brilliantly, and the confidence level that we talked about at the beginning was on its way to maybe getting back to where it was a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden, some self-doubt has to start creeping back in. They can't put the Cardinals away.
Well, there was that one throw by Troy Aikman out into the flat that Aeneas Williams brought back to start this second half. That hurt the Cowboys.
And they fumbled the next kickoff.
Number 22, Hurst again, and he gets taken down by Leon Lett as he crosses the 20-yard line to about the 18.
Well, if it wasn't for Leon Lett in the middle, again, we've documented how Russell Maryland is not playing again tonight because of the sprained toe. But Leon Lett is really taking control of things. He's doing all he can do. He's just not getting a great deal of help on the line of scrimmage. This guy is a load. Chad Hennings playing over on the other side.
2nd and 5. Craig throws, juggled, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Chad Fan, the intended receiver.
Again, the Cards struggling down inside the 20-yard line into that red zone.
Well, they could have used a better block by Garrison Hurst. He got to get a chance to get a pop on somebody. He's got to bring it and make a stick. Dave Craig's having to throw with some people in his face. Now here's the play by Hurst, but you got to do more than that. Oh, you know, Darren Smith is coming in, and you got to do more than wave at a guy. You get a chance. He's going to put a hit on you if you're running the ball. If you get a chance to put on him while he's rushing your quarterback, take advantage of it.
3rd and 5. 4-man rush, heavy pressure. That's Leon. Loose ball. Dallas ball.
Yep. Leon Lett. Yep.
What a night the big man's having.
Fumble was Drew, recovered by Dallas. First down.
Godfrey Miles recovers it.
Just good hustle by Leon Lett.
Well, he's playing like 2 men tonight.
He sure is.
Craig's going to contend his arm was coming forward. And, ooh.
And it was.
Yeah.
And it was.
Upon further review, never mind. 10-12 left in the 4th.
He's the guy that makes the play here. Beats Duval Love upfield, but then keeps hustling, comes around and slaps the arm of Dave Craig. We've looked at it from about 4 different angles. 2 or 3 of them, it did look like his arm had started forward, but it's easy to see how it didn't get called.
They run Williams again on the spin around end around, and Lance Brown makes the tackle. That fumble by Craig, by the way, that adds to another record, his own 144 career fumbles, and Dave wins the fumble championship this season. That's his 16th.
I think he won the sack championship, too, didn't he? He was sacked 50 times coming into tonight.
Sack title, fumble title. Wonderful.
Or 52 times, I think, coming into tonight. And how many sacks tonight? Another handful or so. 3 tonight. 55 sacks.
Second down, 7, 9.5 minutes to go. Cowboys lead by 14. Emmett Smith doesn't find a lot through the middle. The Cowboys, well, they're holiday fare this year. Dallas played on Labor Day. They played on Thanksgiving. They played on Christmas. And they hope they play. Well, the Super Bowl it's right around Groundhog Day. Is it? Groundhog Day is what?
I don't know. It is right here. I'll call Bill Murray and find out.
I'll get on my sneaker phone and I'll call Punxsutawney Phil and I'll get the answer definitively.
Consult your almanac.
February 2nd. Close.
Where will you be February 2nd?
We'll all be preparing
in
religiously for
therapy, I can tell you that.
But in Honolulu, which is good. 3rd and 4. And Moose Johnston makes the catch, and Aeneas Williams takes care of him up at the 40-yard line. First down, Dallas.
Daryl Johnson just will not run out of bounds, will he? He looks for somebody to hit. What an asset he is to this football team. Seen a couple of big-time blocks tonight. Good receiver. Works out of the backfield. Seldom ever makes an error on pickup.
First and 10 at the 40. 8:05 left in regulation. Dallas leading 27-13. Aikman surveying under pressure, then throws. Catch made by Michael Irvin. His first catch since the first quarter, but it's a catch that nets no gain. Tackled by Williams. Williams last night had his knee locked up. In fact, Aeneas Williams was listed last night as doubtful for the game. That's something that you have to do. You have to update your injury report, but responded today and has played the whole game.
Really wasn't a factor in the first time that the Cardinals played the Cowboys earlier this year. Got hurt. So this is Michael Irvin's first real taste of Aeneas Williams here in 95.
Second and 10. And that is incomplete. Incomplete. Sort of a tentative call there, but incomplete. Darrell Johnston dropping it. Terry Irving was there.
Aikman, I think, a little upset with the pattern that one of his receivers ran. And Terry Irving slapping it out, and he did not have possession.
But a ball, wouldn't you agree that more often than not you'll see Darrell Johnston catch?
Yep.
Right in the hands.
3rd and 10 now.
Resetting the football that had slid back about 6 inches or so.
And Troy has 5 seconds on the play clock.
Well, you know that.
Well, that's wait a minute.
Calls it. You know what they should have done? They should have reset it. They should have reset the play clock.
Yes.
Dallas calls a timeout. Some confusion on the field, and Emmitt Smith and Dick Cantack go over it. Cowdy and what's the other one?
By the way, that was a timeout that was not charged to the Cowboys. It was an official's timeout. They realized their error that they didn't reset the clock and put the Cowboys at a disadvantage. So we'll start this back at 25 seconds.
And it's 3rd down and 10 up at the 40-yard line for the Dallas Cowboys. 7:11 to go in the 4th quarter. 27-13 Cowboys. Aikman pump faking, wide open. Michael Irvin sooner or later to the 13-yard line before he's out of bounds. And a flag is down back at the 38-yard line. At the Cowboy 38. Big time call coming up here. And it's going to go against Arizona. Funny, at first, both teams started to come back as if it was going to be called against Dallas.
Yeah, that was double coverage over on Michael Irvin. He's been getting it all night long. This time he just raced by the defender. This is Lynch up close. He's getting help from the inside and deep from the safety man who's supposed to be over there. That's Williams, and he just gets there late. And a good read by the two of them, Aikman and Irvin.
47-yard gain for Michael Irvin.
They're going to double him. Williams is slow in getting over there.
Aikman 338 yards through the air tonight, 171 with Williams, and 82 with Michael Irvin. That's Aikman's best performance of the season in terms of passing yardage. And from the 13-yard line, down goes Emmitt Smith for a loss of 1. And again, what would be perfect for the Cowboys here is to wrap it up with a touchdown and have number 22 take it into the end zone for the record.
We're seeing an awful lot of slipping tonight. And I was down on the field earlier. You were down there, Dan. It appeared to be in great shape.
Now, the one thing they are going to do for the Super Bowl, as I understand it, that they are going to come in after the Fiesta Bowl and re-sod this entire stadium in anticipation of the Super Bowl here on the 28th. So
what we've seen tonight, that's good news.
Yeah, it is good news. And you're right. I agree with you. It certainly didn't look like it up close.
Second down, 12. Aikman throws. Catch is made by Johnston. He gets ridden out of bounds near the first down marker at the 3-yard line by Carlos Brooks.
Okay, load up Emmett.
And it's a first down and first and goal. All right, now it's pretty clear that number 22 is going to be your man. Well, it's pretty clear in any circumstance.
We will see some serious Emmitt Smith right here.
But you'd think that that's what every offensive lineman. This is an offensive lineman's dream right now.
How about a nightmare? They know where it's going to go.
Yeah, but they get a chance to be a part of history. To say, I was there. I helped block for the guy when he got the record.
Emmitt Smith. He's got the record.
This crowd knows it. It didn't come easy.
And you want to know something? You want to make a bet that that's exactly the same play that they tried twice against Philadelphia and didn't get it?
Sure.
Right off left guard.
That's the 4th and 1. Moose Johnston leads the way. He had the block here to spring him. Emmitt Smith, 25 touchdowns.
Bye-bye Riggins.
And 100 for his career at the age of 26 and a half. 100 touchdowns. Boniol.
And maybe more importantly, a little breathing room now for Dallas, who had led 17-0, but they had gotten in trouble here.
Road to the Super Bowl, and the NFC will be going through Texas Stadium. Alone in the record book now, 25 touchdowns.
What a classy man, too. And he's touched. Goes along with a great football act, but this is a classy man off the football field.
You know, emotionally, look at this. Emmitt Smith is, he has an appreciation of the history of this game and the accomplishments. This is a guy that just doesn't take this in stride.
Dan, it got down to within 6 minutes of the season being over for Emmitt Smith. And well, I'm sure it's been in the back of his mind over the past 2 or 3 games. It was quite a relief.
Boniol to kick off, 34-13 is the score. He and Michael Irvin enjoying a delicious moment on the sidelines as Larry Centers runs the kick back up to the 31. A lot of ways to put Emmitt's mark into perspective. One way is to look at the Cardinals. As a team, collectively, offensively and defensively, the Cardinals have scored 26 touchdowns. And that ball being marked by one of the Dallas aides for Emmitt Smith, number 25 for the year.
If Emmitt had a microphone in front of him, I'm going to guess that he would say, thank you, Mark Tuanay, thank you, Nate Newton, Derek Kennard, Ray Donaldson, Larry Allen, Eric Williams, Michael Irvin, Moose Johnston, all of my offensive teammates, because it is a team game, and they all had a little part in the 25 TDs.
New quarterback is Mike Buck.
And that snap went clear over his head.
It's a bad beginning.
Irvin McCormick is there to end the play inside the 5-yard line. So Dave Craig done for the night. Arizona's season on its way to winding 4-12.
Ed Cunningham, the center. I don't know what he expected of the quarterback.
That's
Past the buck.
That's a tough deal. That was very, very, very pathetic.
Buck was 6'3". It was terrible. Larry Senkins. And Dion doesn't tackle him, and then centers with a stiff arm before he steps out of bounds at the 33. Who would have said he gets $12,999,999
He thought
to defend and a buck to tackle?
He thought that was Dave Brown on a scramble.
And Dion holding his leg.
I'm sure Dion will say right away that they don't pay me to do this.
They pay him a buck.
That was about a $1 tackle. Attempted tackle.
And the catch is made. It was still 3rd down and about 7 because of that errant snap, and Rob Moore up to the 39-yard line. And it'll be 4th down. A reminder, coming your way, a doubleheader on Saturday, wild card doubleheader. Miami taking on Buffalo from Rich Stadium. The game begins at 12:30 Eastern time. And then at 4 o'clock Eastern time, it will be Detroit and Philadelphia. Good matchup from the vet. We'll be there for you. Doubleheader this Saturday right here on ABC.
Well, that's two great matchups on Saturday. Miami-Buffalo played a terrific game a couple of weeks ago. Buffalo just edging them. They'll get another go at them.
4th and 1, and the Cardinals going for it here. And Buck throws, and the pass is incomplete, and there is no flag, and Dallas will have the football. Stevie Anderson, the intended receiver. And we can tell you as we wind down the year that the executive producer of Monday Night Football has been Jack O'Hara, and our new daddy, Ken Wolf, the great Wolfman in his 10th season. Craig Janoff of Scottsdale finally gets a home game to wrap up the year. Wonderful job, Craig, throughout the year. Joey Chavo has been with this program since its very inception. Ben Harvey has handled the associate producer duties, and of course began the year with a great hole-in-one. Jaime Bravo creating the opens, and our associate director. Great crew of people, about 70 of us from week to week around the country. As Wade Wilson is the quarterback, and Smith takes the ball to the 38. Kirk Dowdy Jr., Charles Copland produced halftime, which was directed by Calvin Haywood. Jeff Suarez, the TD at the half. Dick Buffington, Bruce Clark, Patrick McManus, Dick Ellis, Patty Gorish, Bill Bolin, and the gang, Simon McKenna and Weiss, along with Zabo and Licata, sending out the pictures and sounds from around the country, and the great Brian Gordon.
Ooh, did he win it all
soon to be
this
emeritus,
year?
and Victor Vitarelli, our assistants to the producer.
Great team. Proud to be a part of it.
Great team. This is Sherman Williams, and he's tackled at the 35-yard line. Steve Hurt couldn't do it without the man, George Hill, Malibu, Kelly Hayes, and Andrea Bryant running the ship from high above.
Bill Monahan down on the sideline.
Yep. And
it's a splendid group. It's not until you see all the names of the
Donnie Schultes, Disco Donnie,
men and the women who work on this show, do you realize how many people it takes to get this production into your living room and family?
Yep. 3rd down and 7 from the 36-yard line. As Wade Wilson launches one, Williams makes the catch, takes it inside the 4 before he fumbles it out of bounds. Lance Brown with the coverage, and Kevin Williams has just set a new Dallas Cowboy team record for combined yardage in the game. That's rushing, receiving, and return yardage tonight for Kevin Williams. Through the air alone, he has 203 receiving yards.
Lance Brown on the coverage, and he is ruled down right at this spot, even though the ball bounces away and goes out of bounds, and the Cowboys will have first and goal. And what a night for Kevin Williams.
That's an excellent call.
There it is, 314 yards he has accounted for. Herschel Walker against the Eagles in '86 had the old mark of 314. Sherman Williams. Flags are down with 2:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Well, the guys who bring you the pictures are just well, the best ever. The all-star crew.
Drew's mom, Andrew DeRosa's mom, having a little trouble, but I understand she's feeling well. Drew couldn't be with us tonight.
I had to look at that name a second time, Andrew DeRosa.
Andrew.
Excuse me. Richie Westline and the guys, Kurt Struve and Dave Bushner, and the group on the, that is some collection.
Yes, isn't that?
They locked that
Especially
door.
number 2 and number 3 there. Watch out for those.
They put them in there every Monday night and lock them up.
Home of Jabella Productions.
Richie D. Steve Korn, Bob Paveni, just top to bottom. Such a wonderful group of people.
First and goal from the 2-yard line, and Sherman Williams bumps into his own man and then gets ridden down by Chris Mamalunga as we come upon the 2-minute warning. That much time left until the Cowboys head home with a week off and home field advantage, 34-13.
What does it take to win 2 Super Bowls in a row?
Two minutes to go as we wrap up our 26th season. Dallas has wrapped this one up. Lance Knapp has been with us for several years now up here in the booth, and the audio and lighting folks, along with engineering and maintenance. And most of us travel now to Philadelphia for the wild card action, and others going to Buffalo. Wild card Saturday coming your way this week here on ABC. Fred King is still on the crew. That's RED in New York.
Vince D'Addario there.
Vince D'Addario controlling the operation. We're just pawns. It's as simple as that. But we're in great hands.
That's what they keep telling us.
Mark Mandel so capably handling all of the flack, so to speak, from both sides of the coin. To the 3-yard line goes Sherman Williams. And the Dallas Cowboys heading home after the game, 34-13. The Cowboys will wind up with the best record in the NFC, a mark of 12-4. And the Arizona Cardinals will end this season, which began so promisingly, at least in terms of the prognostications.
The mirror image of that.
With a mark of 4 wins and 12 losses. And I guess all you can really say at a point like this is
stay tuned.
Well,
that's what I'd say, because something's going to happen.
The other thing you can say is it's a good thing that these fans don't have snowballs.
They brought Buddy in to save it. He was 8-8 a year ago, and they will be 4-12.
Sherman Williams can't advance. Terry Irving making the tackle.
I'm feeling smaller and smaller. What a collection. Didn't realize we had that. What, about 70?
That's a lot of per diem, baby, I'll tell you that. And the blimp. Yes, sir. Santa heading home. Mickey Whitman.
Santa acts like he ought to get home.
Joel Chamberlain and Glenn Hampton up in the
Mickey
in the blimp, and Santa, put your feet up. You've had a long, hard day.
Mickey downstairs coordinating the blimp coverage. 24-yard field goal by Boniol is good. So Boniol tonight extending his streak. He's kicked 3, and he's now made 25 in a row.
getting close to a mark, too.
Well, that'll carry over to next year.
Not a bad way to start the year out, is it? On the tail end of a 25 consecutive field goal streak. That's
the longest one he's made 45. The longest one he's tried is 49. The Cowboys very effective in moving the ball once they get down in the red zone, and so he's been kicking a lot of chippies. Boy, that's a tremendous mark to put 25 in a row together.
37-13 the score. Dan, we started to talk before about the Cardinals and where they'll go and what they'll do, and we'll wrap it up. We talked to Bill Bidwell before the game, and he said my preference is to stay here in this area, but he wants a new stadium. He'd like a dome stadium. He's having a very tough time getting anybody to move on it politically. We asked him about Buddy Ryan, and he said Buddy will be evaluated at the end of the season, which is hedging your bet, and there is the owner of the Cardinals. Buddy has 2 more years left on his contract. This is Marcus Dowdell, run out of bounds by Brock Marion.
And the Cardinals have 2 years left on their original commitment to play here at Sun Devil Stadium in Phoenix. And after that, you know, this is a franchise in play. I think it's safe to say if Bill Bidwell does not get the new stadium that he would like to have here in the Valley of the Sun, he has shown that he's willing to do it. This franchise could very well be on the move again.
Scary, isn't it?
Well, he feels like he was victimized. He feels that he was promised a dome stadium when he moved here in 1988, and it was out on the table, and then it was pulled back, and there's some hard feelings because of it.
This sounds like Cleveland all over again, because as you look at centers, taking it up to the 47, it's the football owner complaining they've taken care of baseball, they've taken care of basketball, the hockey team's coming here next year, the Winnipeg Jets, and they haven't taken care of football. It sounds familiar.
I agree, there are similarities. And by the way, as this game winds down, I want to just say congratulations to Larry Centers. This guy, you know, he just ran that last play, and while he's on the ground, calls for the timeout so he gets a chance to do it one more time, down 37-13. Here is a warrior. This guy is a player.
It's hard to go to the Pro Bowl, Dan, on a 4-12 team playing in his position. Not only that, setting a record from that position. He's a remarkable
it's easy.
Young fullback, too.
It's easier to play well on a good football team than it is on a loser.
Well,
it's a lot easier.
The Cowboys may have struggled at the end of the year, but they're going to wind up just where they want it to be. The best record in the conference, home field advantage. They don't have to worry about facing Green Bay in their first playoff game as Centers takes the shovel pass. They will meet either Atlanta if Atlanta beats Green Bay, or the winner of the Detroit-Philadelphia game. The season ends on the 100th reception for Larry Centers in 1995.
There's still 1 second left, buddy. Come on back, babe.
Arizona just took a timeout, so
with 1 second.
Yep. Buddy pulling a Woody Hayes.
Whoops. Come on, buddy.
Yep.
Buddy, he doesn't want to come back.
What if they score on this play? I mean, it might say something.
Well, Buddy will say, go for 2. This perfect. This restroom is cleaned by Showtime Services, Inc. What a way to go off the air.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
The wacko world of Buddy Ryan.
Buddy developing real tunnel vision.
Oh, man. Here's Larry Centers.
I love this guy. Look at him.
Terrific.
Good for you, Larry.
We'll see him in Hawaii. We don't know when we'll see Buddy. The Cardinals wind up 4-12. The Cowboys wind up 12-4. And Dallas with home field advantage through the playoffs, winning it by a score of 37-13. The great Emmitt Smith, the record holder now, 25 touchdowns, as the Dallas Cowboys end the season on an up note, 37-13. Big weekend coming up. Until we talk to you Saturday, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swan, good night from Tempe, Arizona.
Thank you so much.